The Bronze Report is brought to you by theregistrybayarea.com.
Barbara, when we set off to do a story about blacks in technology, the assumption was that we'd be heading to Silicon Valley. But the story was in a city to the north, and I'm not talking about San Francisco. There is a tech renaissance going on right here in Oakland, California. It seems the only Oakland that makes the headlines today is bankrupt Oakland, Occupy Oakland, high crime Oakland. But there's a new Oakland, hip, diverse. The New York Times calls it one of the top 5 places to see in America, and it's a mecca for tech startups. Some 400 companies are already here, creating thousands of new jobs in a city where unemployment topped 17% in 2010. Now that percentage hovers around 9%, above the national average, but heading in the right direction. It's bringing restaurants, galleries, shops, new energy to old neighborhoods, Uptown, City Center, West Oakland, Lake Merritt. First stop, Jack London Square, to Vader Splash. Vader is short for innovator. 2 intense days where startups pitch their ideas to venture capitalists, angel and corporate investors. It's happened in London, New York, Los Angeles, now Oakland.
We are 7 minutes from San Francisco, and there's not a venture capitalist or angel investor that I know who wouldn't invest in a company because you're located in Oakland. That's ridiculous.
Stop. Have a time.
We found Grammy Award-winning rapper MC Hammer. He's one of the most prominent hip-hop stars in tech, investing in new ways to deliver internet content and clean energy. He helped kick off this splash with venture capitalist Eric Moore.
So Eric was the first African-American VC that I knew who write checks and had a fund and has a fund. And I took it upon myself to make sure that anything that I see, that he sees.
And for good reason. Business Insider named Moore one of the most influential blacks in technology. Dartmouth-educated, this former investment banker got in on the ground floor when Zappos was a crazy idea to sell shoes online. Then Amazon bought it for $1.2 billion. Moore continues to fund startups through his company Base Ventures. He grew up just 7 miles from here in Richmond, another city that gets a bad rap.
I knew that I wanted to do something bigger and better. And I didn't know what that meant really at the time, but I knew I didn't want to, I knew, frankly, unapologetically, I wanted to have a lot of money.
In tech, a lot of money can mean billions of dollars. That's an abstract concept for most of us, just trying to make $20 to put food on the table. It took time for Moore to wrap his brain around that kind of money. First, there was college, when $20 became $20,000 to pay tuition.
Then I went into my first job after college, and we were talking about, hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1 million, business transactions that I was doing. And then from that, I took it all the way up to, having gone to business school after that, I was in investment banking, and now I'm trading bonds, and I'm trading billions and billions of dollars worth of securities every day. So now I'm sensitized in even a different manner.
As for blacks and the so-called digital divide, Moore and Hammer are used to being the only brothers in the room.
The way I do business is not based upon who's in the room. It's based upon, what the integrity of the project is.
People talk about the digital divide, what's going on in Silicon Valley, as if it's new, as if it's novel. And I've been hearing this discussion, and it's old, and it's boring, and it's tiring. Well, there weren't very many blacks at Dartmouth. There weren't very many blacks in graduate school. There weren't very many blacks in investment banking when I went, and that's an issue. You can't let that be a hindrance to your success.
If we're talking about a playing field that so large, it's not easy to get into anyway, and it's not meant for everybody. It's meant for certain people from all walks of life. but not for everybody.
We hear all these horrible things that happen, and they are debilitating, but you've got to move on.
And to be successful in tech, Moore and Hammer agree. Networking is key.
Relationships, right? At the end of the day, all of it is about relationships.
But it's hard. It's hard work. It's doing the stuff that a lot of people don't want to do. You have to go to those events that you think are going to be extremely boring. Nobody's going to be there that I know. And you have to get there and you have to show up and be interesting. And you have to exchange business cards. And oh, by the way, once you exchange the business card, you have to follow up. You have to send an email or call in order for this to happen. So it's a process. It's a very difficult process. And most people don't succeed in it because most people don't do it. It's not easy. People see the other side of it. So all this stuff, networking, all the networking that I do, it pays off because now I have a venture capital fund.
Next stop, The Hive, in Oakland's Uptown District, new home to Impact Hub, an idea born in London. There's some 45 hubs on 6 continents. It's a global network of co-working spaces.
What we call collaboratories. Collaboratories, yeah.
And so normally this room is populated by?
Our members. It's a member-based organization in the same way that you pay a membership to a gym. People pay a membership to co-work here. During the daytime, this is their office.
With rocket-fast internet, Herman Miller desks and chairs. This 16,000 square foot former car dealership has transformed from a source of urban blight to an example of urban might.
One of the things that we love to share is the story of how we raised the first $100,000 for this space.
Oh, how did that happen?
Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we were able to raise $143,000 on Kickstarter, and that was mainly from folks from Oakland. So this is an idea whose time has come, and they showed up for it.
On any given day, you'll find investors roaming the building, VCs, corporations, LLCs, nonprofits. We met up with social media experts Kumi Raouf and Kevin L. Nichols here. They've made a science out of networking online. Social media strategies in a brave new world where fans, followers, shares, likes translate to profit. Raouf leads by example. He's the man behind the most popular Black Facebook page in the world.
It's called I Love Being Black. It's all about just positivity out there, showing Black examples of positivity. It's something that I started in college with just a regular old t-shirt, boom, right here. And it sort of blossomed from there. And we made our Facebook page in 2008. Now we're at about 6.2 million, the largest Black Facebook fan page in the world.
Nichols' social networking skills have earned him passage into LinkedIn's Hall of Fame. He's been featured on CNN Money, MarketWatch, and the Wall Street Journal.
They call me the social politician. I do a lot of social media marketing for different companies, law firms, and politicians running for office.
Politicians like Senator Cory Booker and President Barack Obama. As for businesses, Nichols' message is clear. If your company isn't on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you pretty much don't exist.
Every company nowadays needs to have an online presence in order to be found, interact with their customers, and sell their products and services. I mean, if you don't have one of those accounts, it's kind of like, what planet are you on? There are over 1 billion active users on Facebook.
According to researchers, more than 72% of all Black adults use social networking sites. And when it comes to Black teenagers, that number jumps up to 88%.
Black youth are adopting social media at even higher rates than anyone else. So yeah, we're talking Twitter, we're talking Instagram, all of that stuff. I mean, if you're not on that, it's like, what are you doing? Back in my day, to be a nerd and to be like a tech guru or something like that wasn't exactly the coolest thing to do around town. But nowadays, if you're a techie, if you're into apps, if you're into technology that maybe not everybody knows about, that's cool. That to kids, it's actually cool, not just to adults.
What about Black kids?
Yeah, Black kids definitely have carved out their space. I'm a part of the National Society of Black Engineers, which is the largest student-run organization in America. Boom, yeah.
And NSBE boasts over 30,000 members. Both Nichols and Raouf agree that for Blacks here in America to stay part of the conversation, we can not only be tech consumers, We must be tech innovators, and that starts and ends with education.
Math, science, and engineering. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, especially if you're a black male or a black female.
Like, I ask people to use a computer, and they say, yeah, of course. I say, do you know who Mark Dean is? They say, no, I have no idea. I said, Mark Dean holds 3 of the original 9 patents in the original PC from IBM. He holds those. The gigahertz chip, who made that? He's got the patents. The color monitor, that's him. We need to know about people like this, black people and otherwise, because it's not just our minds we need to change. We need to change a lot of other people's minds as well.
Right, they get all their perceptions off the 6 o'clock news, and unless somebody comes out and shoots someone, we're not going to be on TV.
We don't make the news. NSBE doesn't make the National Society of Black Engineers. NSBE hardly makes the news. And I'm like, why? You know what I mean? Do we have to be fighting? Do we have to be singing? Do we have to be dunking? Like things like that, you know what I mean? Like, or getting a banana thrown at us on a soccer field or something like that. Those types of things, sure, we make the news all the time. But we like to put positive examples out there and also create awareness where there needs to be.
Impact Hub is definitely a positive example of technology that feeds the community, not bleeds the community. It's not just a space to work. There are film screenings, art installations in the gallery, mixers, hackathons, even salsa lessons.
Because there are hubs all over the world, each hub has their centerpiece that you know that that's where you're at. And so we wanted something that was like a little gritty, a little grimy, but elegant.
This is all reclaimed wood, industrial yet warm. And there are offices, conference rooms, even privacy booths. Okay, I'll see you later. I need a moment.
She needs a moment.
Call it an innovation lab, a community center. Impact Hub is a place where you can do your best work.
This is STEAM at its best. Science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, I remember geodesic domes, aren't you supposed to think, have better
Exactly. They
cognitive-
they amplify your cognitive sensibilities, right? You know, just the math, the shapes, the sacred geometry.
It does feel. Let's meditate on this. Oakland, 10 years from now. Will blacks be part of the tech renaissance or left behind?
The top priority right now is being able to allow the next generation to be able to get on the information superhighway.
When you reach the youth, that's when you start to see that seed of inspiration, that seed of change really start to grow throughout the rest of the society.
And once you're exposed to something bigger and better, it changes, it kind of stretches your mind and makes you, and it kind of makes you never go back to where things were.
You know, there's that quote, "We are the one that we've been waiting for." We truly are.
Anytime Oakland is even spoke in the sense of, you know, lesser than, a stepchild, or this, that, you've never met anybody from Oakland who gives off a lesser than spirit. It's not who we are. So we've never looked at ourselves in that way, ever.